Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to welcome all of you to the second COROLLA International Conference in collaboration with Indonesia Education Share to Care Volunteers, English Study Program, Guidance and Counseling Islamic Education Study Program of IAIN CURUP. Welcome to Room 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Industry 4's revolution and the spread of COVID-19 pandemic have sped up the rate of change in all parts of our lives. It can be argued that in English education, we need to be ready to deal with global issues and trends. Therefore, in this room, there will be 7 keynote speakers that will specifically talk about English education now and tomorrow, what we have to do and expect. So I'd like to welcome our outstanding keynote speakers, Excellency Dr. Siti Asmiah SPD MTSol of UIN Sunan Ampel Indonesia. Welcome, Ibu. The Excellency Dr. Mutmainah MPD of Al-Syariah Mandar University Indonesia. The Excellency Mr. David D. Paradin, PhD of Mahidol University, Thailand. Excellency Dr. Preshan Esmote of Adarsh Senior College, India. The Excellency Dr. Gada Tassan Abdelatif, PhD of Beni Suef University, Egypt. The Excellency Dr. Ibrahim Oter of Ateriji Medical College, Saudi Arabia. And the Excellency Dr. Prodan Mahbub of American International University, Bangladesh. Welcome to all of the speakers. And I'm Sinta Amalia. I'm from UIN Raden Patah, Palembang. I'm very pleased to be part of this conference, and I'll be your moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, let me inform you how the presentation will be carried on. We have 7 presenters in this room. Each of the speakers will be invited to present for 15 minutes. During the presentation, you may write your questions on the chat box. Make sure you write your name and to whom your question refers to. Or if you wish to talk directly to the speaker, there will be question and answer section after all the presenters finish their presentation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our first keynote speaker will be Dr. Siti Asmiah SPD MTSol. Let me introduce you to her. Firstly, Dr. Siti Asmiah SPD MTSol is a lecturer at English Education Study Program in UIN Sunan Ampel, Indonesia. She has more than 15 years teaching experiences. Her specializations include ICT and assessment instrument development. She has great contribution on the field of Indonesian students assessment. She is an author of Reading Literacy Module, a follow-up for Indonesian students competency assessment. She develops questions for the State Islamic Religious College entrance examination and government officials with employment agreement admission tests. She also serves as a linguistic reviewer for Madrasah Science competition questions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Dr. Siti Asmiah SPD MTSol to give her presentation.
Well, thank you very much, Ibu Sinta Amalia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for all of the participants across the globe. I would like to express my gratitude to IAIN CURUP for having me today. I've been to Bengkulu several years ago, so I went to Bengkulu in 2019, but not to CURUP. Probably in the next future, I can visit your beautiful campus. Thank you for having me, and I also would like to express my respect to Dr. Prodan Mahbub from American International University, Bangladesh, Dr. Mutmainah MPD from Al-Syariah Mandar University, Bapak David Paradin, PhD, and then Dr. Prasan M. Mote from Adas Senior College, India, Dr. Gada Tassan, Dr. Ibrahim Oter. I'm really happy to be with you all. So it's such an honor and a privilege to be with you. Right. Let me share my screen. I cannot share my screen. So it's disabled by the host. Okay, so probably I will. Yeah,
I'm gonna check.
Okay, or probably I will share the link of my
that's okay.
presentation. Right, so Ibu Sinta can help you to share it. Yeah, because it's disabled by the... All right, Ibu Sinta, I have sent it to you through chat.
Okay, I got it. Let me try to. I'm not sure because I'm not the host.
But you had the co-host.
Wait.
So, well,
co-host, please help us to share the screen because I'm unable to do that. I'm not the co-host here.
oh, okay. So it's the committee. So I should
Yes.
I should send the link to the committee, right? So
There is the
to find it.
committee. There is the committee here.
Yeah. So I will try to find the panitia. Right. Well, basically, what I'm going to share with you is a simple thing about the use of corpora in the teaching of English for Islamic studies. So I see that one of the topic of the conference is about Islamic education and trying to relate the idea of English as English for specific purposes to the Islamic education. I have shared the material to the committee. Well, before I start, probably I would like to ask the participants, how familiar are you with corpora in your teaching and learning? Any ideas? Any experience that you can share? Probably you can type in the chat box your experience of using corpus or corpora in your English teaching and learning. Please try to share screen, ma'am. Okay, let me try. Ah, okay, good. All right. So is it already there on your screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So it's 2:02. I should stop at 2:17 to make it 15 minutes. If I use more than 15 minutes, just mute me, yeah? Okay, critical genre analysis, corpora in English for Islamic studies. And sorry, this is a bit about me, and Ibu Cynthia has introduced me to all of you. So I don't have red lipstick, David, but I have a red hijab. Oh, hopefully that will also remain in your memory. So the outline of my presentation today is I will first talk about discipline and discourse, because ESP, particularly English for Islamic Studies, is related to the use of English as the language of the discipline. And then I will go further to discourse and genre. And afterwards, I will discuss a bit about critical genre analysis, and we'll focus more on how to use corpora in English for Islamic studies. All right, talking about discipline and discourse, I believe all of us understand that each discipline has its own particular practices. So how they communicate, in what way they communicate, who they communicate with, and what circumstances they communicate. They have their own particular practices based on their discipline. And also every discipline has its own discursive procedure in which who can contribute what in a particular communicative events, in a particular professional practices. And such professional practice, such discursive procedure actually creates and are being created, create and being created by the disciplinary discourse. So, for example, here now we have this conference. This conference is actually our professional practice in English language education and English education. And within this conference, we have this kind of procedure. If you want to join the conference, you need to submit your article and etc. While doing it, actually we are following a particular discourse in the profession, and at the same time we are recreating and re-emphasizing the practices within the professional discourse. So that's the relationship between discipline and discourse. And then relating it to English for specific purposes. English for specific purposes is actually very much goal-oriented, in which we take up the use of English for particular professional use in a particular discipline. And English for specific purposes is very much need analysis context-based. So the language that we teach in ESP, or the language or the English that we use in ESP, is very much informed by the context of the profession, and it's oriented also for adult learner. Taking up this idea, then we can understand that ESP is actually very much of the discourse in that profession. And talking about discourse, actually we also talk about genre, because genre relates to how communication are structured, and then what language is used. So in the area of ESP, then it relates to discourse, and discourse is related to genre. Talking about discourse as genre, I would like to pinpoint some important ideas in that discourse is actually identity kit that comprise language and other attributes. This includes, for example, values, beliefs, identities. So when we are talking about English for Islamic studies, actually they are values about Islam, beliefs about Islam, identities related to Islam, which reflect the socio-cognitive aspects of the professional community in Islamic studies. Such values, beliefs, and identities reflecting or representing in the language use actually also show different ways of how people in this profession interact to represent their socio-cognitive aspects, to represent their values, to represent their beliefs, which at the end form their identity. So in this context, discourse as genre can be understood that genre texts actually are the encoder of the discourse in the profession. So when we read journal articles, for example, which follow a particular language use, particular rhetorical moves, then that show the socio-cognitive aspects, values, beliefs, and knowledge in the profession. And then I like a very good quote from Bhatia related to discourse as genre. So discourse as genre is understood as language used in a conventionalized communicative setting in order to give expression to a specific set of communicative goals of disciplinary or social situation which give rise to stable structural forms by imposing constraints on the use of lexico-grammatical as well as discursive resources. So I will pinpoint on the bold words and phrases. So discourse is genre. We are talking about convention. We are talking about set of communicative goals. What's the goals of the conference? What's the goal of the academic article? What's the goal of the book chapter, and etc. etc. Within the disciplinary or social situation. So in English for Islamic studies, so it is within the discipline of Islamic studies. And such convention give rise to stable structural form. So if we read articles in English, articles in Islamic studies, for example, we will probably find different ways of presenting research reports or ideas or conceptual review compared to those in engineering, for example, because each of these disciplines have their own stable structural form, which if we relate back to previous slide, being created and creating how people communicate within that discipline. This then relate to critical genre analysis, because genre is very much about this stable structural form. So critical genre analysis is actually an ESP motivated genre analysis. That's why we have the word critical there, and it is the analysis of professional practices in particular academic and professional context. So it's very much related and relevant to English for Islamic studies. And within critical genre analysis based on PATIA, we can take 4 multi-dimensional analytical perspectives covering the textual perspective, socio-cognitive perspective, ethnographic perspective, and socio-critical perspective. So textual perspectives relates more to the resources, lexical-grammatical resources and textual corpora, and I will focus more on this, not on the other 3. Although actually when we are talking about the textual corpora, we are also talking about how people communicate. We are also talking about the power relation, but for the short presentation today, I will only talk about how to use textual corpora in our teaching and learning. Right, and then the idea of critical genre analysis and the use of corpora in English for Islamic studies actually is drawn from this idea. English for Islamic studies is actually how we use English when in the professional community and professional communication of Islamic studies, and then it is a discipline-based language use. When it is a discipline-based language use, then it has a discipline-specific discourse. It takes up the discourse of the Islamic studies. Within the discourse of Islamic studies, then it is a discipline-specific genre. And talking about discipline-specific genre, of course, there are discipline-specific corpora, and this is important. Important thing that we need to consider when we are teaching English for Islamic studies, the use of corpora from the professional communities in Islamic studies to inform students' learning. This is what I'm going to focus. Then there are several practical applications that we can use in having or in integrating the use of corpora in our teaching and learning. The first one is word cloud generator. In word cloud generator, student can try to find independently the words that they need to learn in relation to Islamic studies. So in word cloud generator, we can let me click. Student can go through this website, and the website will enable generator of key ideas from any resources. I mean textual resources. So we can have a new word cloud by having it from, for example, from text or from PDF documents. So for example, if we ask students to find keywords of particular area of Islam, then we can ask them to read and then put it in the word cloud generator, and they can go through the key points from that, right? And then the next one is this one, webcorp.org.uk. This is similar to what cloud generator. So taking the same text, if we put it to this one, then we will see keywords. Yeah, so student can go through these keywords and find that which words are actually the main words used in Islamic studies. The other one is Flex. So this is also a useful resources. In Flex, student can go through lists of words. Yeah. So for example, if we put Islamic studies and then we try to find it from different resources, be it from academic English or from contemporary English or from social science, from any area, then it will generate how the word is used. What is good is that it also informs the surrounding or the environment of the word. So Muslim use as a noun, what words go together with that. And this is really important for students to understand the collocation on the use of the words. The other one is Sketch Engine. Sketch Engine is really interesting, in which in addition to having those lists, students also can read samples of the sentences using that. Yeah, these are only some of the few examples of how we can use corpora in the teaching of English for Islamic studies. The key idea is that corpora can help learners to get authentic data of language use and also language structure. It enables them to have the autonomy of learning because they can just find the corpus by themselves. And then it's also updated, because if you take the updated journal article, we put it in the corpora, then we put it in the search engine application of the corpus, then we can have for example, new expressions used by the professional community. Maybe you also familiar with COCA, with BNC, with Wordsmith, with Encon, and all other application to generate the corpus. But the three that I present here are the free one. So that's all my presentation about how to use corpora and the relationship between corpora and ESP within the framework of critical genre analysis. Thank you very much. I think I used 15 minutes already. Thank you, Ibu Cynthia.
Thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Siti Asmia. Please give round of applause, everyone, to such a enlightening presentation from Ibu Dr. Siti Asmia. Thank you very much, Ibu. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the second presenter, Dr. Mutmainah, MPD. Let me introduce her to you. She is currently a lecturer at Al-Syariah Mandar University, Indonesia, as well as the Deputy Director of the Language and Character Development Institute and the Deputy Director of Quality Assurance Unit. In 2019, she completed her doctoral program at Universitas Negeri Makassar's doctoral program in English Education Department. In addition to her 15 years of teaching experiences at several universities and institutes, she also worked in other institutions around the globe. She is also a member of numerous notable international organizations. She has produced numerous scholarly articles and books with reputable journals and book publishers. She is a recipient of a number of significant international awards and a member of the editorial boards of a number of prestigious international journals. She had vast experience as a keynote speaker at numerous international conferences. Her researchers center in ICT in education, edutainment, research and development, as well as EFL. So the presentation will be carried on in about 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll invite Dr. Mutmain MPD to deliver her presentation.
Well, thank you very much for this time. I will open my speak. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to all of the keynote speaker, the participant, and also my
So sorry for this technical.
That's
no
okay.
problem.
It happens many times. Yeah, that's okay. It happens many times. Technical things.
I'm just surprising because
Yeah.
I'm just opening.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start again. So I want to say thank you very much to the CEO and founder of COROLLA and IAIN CURUP for having me today and invite me here. I see a lot of my close friends there. So allow me to share my screen because the time is very limited with us. Well, okay. Yeah. Again, thank you to my beautiful moderator that actually have mentioned and presenting my little bit my profile. She is missing my research ID, so feel free to visit my research ID over there and cite my article. Wait. Yeah. My topic today, I'm curious about trend in research following after COVID-19 through digital innovation and transformation, R&D perspective. I think this is a very important for students and for us as a lecturer when we want to do the research. And I will share to you actually what is the trends research right now. But before that, let me show to you about what is actually happening right now in our education. So we are in accelerating transformation on educational sector, and based on my observation, my opinion, and my how to say, we must join to English again. Sorry, we are leaving this room and back. Wait. The computer. I lose my concentration. What should I do now?
Take a deep breath, Bu.
Ya, gimana nih? Kita lanjut aja
are,
ya.
Ya, lanjut, Bu. We are still in the same room.
Oh, pulang. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Okay, I'm in this. Yes. Based on my observation, my opinion, my interpretation about right now the highlight issue, there are 5. The first one about injected artificial intelligence in education. I know most of us as a lecturer or educator and the student familiar with artificial intelligence. If not, I will introduce to you about artificial intelligence itself, the application, and I will share on the chat box. I hope also you can practice in the classroom. Yeah, we understanding that this artificial intelligence, this is the teaching tool that actually have so many benefits, and also I have a research about artificial intelligence, and I have shared on the chat box the link of my article, so feel free to read and cite our research, our study over there. The secondly about education transformation, related to the COVID-19 situation, we have connected with the COVID-19, and then we are familiar with this remote teaching, virtual classroom, distance education, And also we should be adapted with this ICT culture, information, communication, and technology culture. And also based on this condition, we should be redesign our curriculum like in Indonesia. We are merger our curriculum into the Merdeka Belajar Campus Merdeka or independent learning, independent campus. So injected technology, yeah, we use so many platform and the technology, but also we should be remember that we should use the technology related to the student condition. For example, if the student gets familiar with by using Google Classroom or maybe by using WhatsApp because their condition, because of their internet connection, or maybe because of their smartphone or their device not support with these so many application, like if you wanted to use virtual reality platform, I think this is better if you use a computer or laptop device, because the smartphone cannot be having good to playing this, having good tools to playing this like a virtual reality itself. Yeah, so the third is about infuse my digital classroom management. I wanted to present to you, if we wanted to manage our smart digital classroom management. I know this is very crowded. Can you stop? Yeah, but I hope you listening my voice. Yeah, I want to share to you about, if you wanted to manage your smart digital classroom management, you should be understanding about the triple quantum, namely quantum learning, quantum teaching, and then quantum technology. So related to this condition, we understand that quantum learning, if this is the way we are learning, we should be changed right now because we are in the digital era, everything by the internet. And then in the quantum teaching, should I join to English? Cynthia? Hello? Hello, hello, hello?
Yes, me too.
I thought the committee not. I thought the
one
committee.
room
Yeah,
to
we're.
one room to
Santiana is
another room.
supposed to be in room 3, right?
No, but then when I joined the room, I moved from one room to another room and then back again. Aduh, I'm so sorry, ini nggak tahu ini tiba-tiba ada di sini lagi.
Jadi saya juga gabung, dari tadi saya bilang kami sudah di room English. Nah, ini kita keluar nih, Bu.
Participants are getting confused.
Yeah, we're getting confused about this. Not only you, sir. I'm as the moderator got confused.
And even more than 200 participants were there. Now 38 participants are there only in this room. So even people are unaware about where to join and what to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping asking the committee, but I think it seems to me that they are so
now,
busy with.
Keep this room available only, and let everyone else can join other rooms.
I'm not sure.
As you have your breakout already.
I have told them, but you know. Mr. David left there, Bu Mutmainah. Kita di sini berdua. What should we do?
Kita bertiga, ada Mr. Prasan juga.
Oh yeah, 3 of us. That's right.
3 of us. Huh? So, gimana nih? Halo Risa.
Let me contact the committee first.
Because when I'm doing my presentation, there is notification to joining the English education.
Yes.
Oh my
God.
God.
That's why I clicked that part. I'm not sure. If I leave this room again, then what happened? Oh my God.
Di sini aja. Aku lanjut ya atau gimana nih? Tunggu. Ini udah setengah ngomong.
Ya. Ini tuh kayak
Dan kita sudah done ini, Eka. We are in our room right now.
Yes, shall we continue?
Yeah, I will continue my presentation. Yeah, we know the time is very limited between us. So let me share back my PPT. I hope you see that my presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm moving to the third point of my first slide. It's about infuse my digital classroom. So Cynthia, I hope you can manage everything.
Yeah, that's okay.
for
Just
us.
continue, ma'am.
Yeah, I will
because we have
continue. Don't
limited
worry.
time. Sorry, just
Yeah, infuse smart digital classroom management that we all believe if you wanted to manage your smart classroom right now, you should be understanding the triple quantum, namely quantum learning, quantum teaching, and then quantum technology. Quantum learning, this is about the way we are learning, we must change. And for educator or lecturer or teacher, this is for the quantum teaching, you should be trained the way you are teaching, because right now, you know that our students, they are different with us. They are the Gen Z, they are born with digital, and then they are familiar by using smartphone. So quantum technology, of course, we should be understanding about the technology itself, the technology for learning, the technology for teaching, to help them, the young generation, to be more how to help them, how to get the how to pursue the 21st century skill. And of course, by using this quantum technology, so we can create our digital content or digital material. Yeah, of course, by this situation, we also mobilize e-learning. Yeah, for everything, what should we do if we have connected to the internet? We will be integrating our learning and teaching process by learning. So mobile learning, this is being digital support, and yeah, we understanding everything we are handled on our mobile phone, for example, or our smartphone. And then for the technology itself in the school, this is not only about the student itself and the teacher, but also this is covered with the parents and also the staff. Should also understanding to managing the smart classroom, because after the student, they are in the class in the school, but when they are come back to home, absolutely they need the parents' help to do their homework. So cybergogy, this is one of the theory if you wanted to combine between pedagogy and the technology. But remember, this is not only about the technology itself or the pedagogy itself, but also we should be increase our metacognitive skill. This is for teacher and for the student. The metacognitive skill, this is about you knowing how to learn and freedom to learn. So the last about digital vaccine, right now, our education, we are in the Industry Revolution 5.0 this is to support the society 5.0. And also we should be training our students to have namely creativity and innovation, and also doing collaboration or teamwork. Or namely here, 21st century skill. Which, yeah. So let's have a look about this from John Dewey, and I hope the student, you get your point about this one, and also for educator, that's why the triple quantum, we should be understanding the way we are teaching and the way we are learning, we should be changed. So right now we understand the one of the way we are teaching, like by using this blended learning model, and also this is we use or integrating the technology in our classroom. So I think all of us, we understanding about the blended learning, but we should be understanding that the blended learning have so many models, and then you can be apply an implementation in your classroom. But you should be understanding if you are implementation, the blended learning environment, you should be need to think about learning is no longer a solo activity. The teacher is no longer the only person in teaching. Learning is no longer passive, book as jargon start, and teaching is then beyond in the classroom. So well, about digital technology, so right now we understanding that we are in the digital era. So the digital technology you cannot be see here, but the main point, you should be use the right technology, the right action, and the right activity. So we also have know to connect it with the Bloom taxonomy. Like for example, in the level 1, this is for recall. Actually, this is related to the understanding and memorizing, remember and understanding. For example, if your teacher or asking you about to do memorizing, to do define, to do calculate, to do arrange, to do repetition, tabulating, recognizing, for example, like that. Actually, your teacher or we are as educator, we just implementation or apply namely lower order thinking skill. What we should do right now to support the student 20% to the screen doing creativity and innovation, we must be in this level 4. We cannot be ask them the right activity, like ask them to do the designing, to connection, to synthesis, and you can choose one of these technology or the tools. So related to the blend taxonomy, what should we do? What should the right technology? You can see here from lower order thinking skill, remembering, understanding, applying. This is lower order thinking skill. This is the right technology. And for analyzing, evaluating, and creating, this is the right technology. Sometimes we are use TikTok only for how to say, to share our content just for dancing or something like that, but actually for educator or student, we cannot be use this TikTok to creating or animating our content or our presentation itself. So R&D, this is the trend, actually the trend for research right now. There are 10 phases for research and development. So that's why when we wanted to understanding about research and development, the main point and the main core of R&D, this is about we should be manage our classroom, designing the content, designing our material, our learning outcome, our syllabus. This is related to the student need, not from the teacher need. The student want, not from the teacher one. So that's why before we are entering our new semester, sometimes I ask my student, in one semester, you can make a list what you want the material. Most of them, they are used by using YouTube, by using technology or something like that. They are make a list and we discuss the list, and also in every meeting, they get surprised. Maybe in the first meeting, we use film. The second meeting, we use song. The third meeting, we use artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and so many variety the media and technology that we use. Why we should this one? Because we understanding this is the student one, this is the student need. So related to the research and development methodology, this is one of I share to you, namely a SURE model. A SURE model, this is developed by Hennig and Molinda, and SURE, this is the acronym from analyze learner, state objective, select method, media, and material, utilize media material, require learner participation, and the end of semester we are doing evaluation. Why this is very important to know and to understanding about R&D related to or by using this is SURE, because everything that we are doing, this is based on the student condition. We identify what is the student lack, so we asking what they want, what they need, so we are designing our syllabus and our lesson plan. So for the first thing that we most of the students, they are very interesting if our teaching material we are combined by using this edutainment or funtainment or entertainment by education. The concept of edutainment, this is we can see here the main point when we are use games, a movie, advertising, or so many that we can be using like by using technology. For example, this is related to edutainment. Why edutainment or by using games, for example, this is very important and so many benefits because this is effective engagement. This is support also behavioral engagement, cognitive engagement, and social cultural engagement.
Sorry,
yeah,
for the time. I remind you for the time.
You give me discount because we have so many. Wait a little bit. So edutainment or entertainment that I use in my classroom that I mentioned before to you. I use YouTube game, film, and song, and also use a social media like YouTube. And this is the example of my student wall, namely by using Padlet. And yeah, my article I have shared to you on the chat box. Feel free to download it and read our article about artificial intelligence. And then when I playing my artificial intelligence in the classroom, I give you my class. Siapa teman artificial intelligence-nya? Ketika they choose their friend. Yeah. Limit by time by using virtual reality. Actually, not only by using artificial intelligence, virtual reality, but sometimes the student, they want to be outdoor, and then I give them a comic by manga tune. Yeah, they are, yeah, you see that they are reading by comic. And this is my student project after they are use virtual reality. They are presenting. The differentiate between the first the first video and the second video, this is the student, they are use mind mapping to presenting their content. And then this is their doing creativity when they uploaded the video based on virtual reality. This is my student video project for speaking. Yeah. So, a robot, yeah, this is the new trend right now in the world about how the human interaction with the technology or robot. This is just want to share to you. Yeah, this is the real robot. And then what about right now in the world? They are use lecture robot. So of course, in our mind, maybe you can having the question, maybe robot will replace the teacher, but I'm still believe the teacher cannot be replaced by anyone. Yeah. So yeah, I have shared to you about virtual reality by using film in my classroom. Why that so many variety? Because this is the student one. They want to buy film. They want to buy artificial intelligence, virtual reality by using comic. So this is the step, the syntax. I break down into 5 phases from warm up, presenting, practice, production, and evaluation. So all of these activities are related to the Bloom taxonomy, and then support the student 20% skill doing creativity and innovation. So what about if we don't have technology, smart internet connection? Don't worry. We cannot be still playing in our classroom like you see in this video. So nothing can stop education. So yeah, we use technology to make our teaching and learning process to be more practice, effective, and efficient. Oh. Yeah, so thank you for having me and listening to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Maina. Yeah, instead of the time, yeah, instead of those technical mistakes, yeah, Ibu Dr. Mutmainah can still manage the presentation. Thank you very much, Ibu, for the enlightening presentation. Well, now we move on to our third presenters.
Wait, before that, I hope you can joining my question over there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
I did, Ibu.
ladies and gentlemen,
I also have downloaded your article.
Yeah, please feel free to click the questionnaire that Ibu Dr. Mutmainah have shared in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Now we move on to the third presenters in our room today. Let me introduce you to our third presenter, Mr. David Diparadin, PhD. Mr. David Diparadin is the English language specialist with the Institute for Population and Social Research, Mahidol University in Bangkok, Thailand. He is also the journal manager and copy editor for the top-tier Key to Scopus Index Journal of Population and Social Studies with the same institute, in addition to being the recipient of several prestigious international teaching awards for his contribution to global education. He has acquired exemplary teaching qualification and certification, along with a bachelor in secondary education with honors and a master of arts in teaching with honors, both with concentrations in English. He is currently a doctoral candidate pursuing a PhD in applied linguistics for English language teaching at King Mangkut's University of Technology, Thonburi, Thailand. The presentation will be delivered in 15 minutes. So, David, let me invite you to give your presentation.
You know, I got it. Okay. Again, I apologize if there is too much noise, but you know, I'm doing the best I can given the situation. So I thought it was better for me to present live than for me to do a video. You know, it's just not as fun. Okay. Let me see. The first presentation about using a language corpus is so applicable to me. In my PhD studies, I am looking at privilege and marginalization of extralocal, one word, extralocal, extralocal. Extra is a prefix, like extraterrestrial, extraordinary. Extralocal teachers are teachers who are not local. That's it. So I coined the term, and I wanted to know how the society in Thailand, how the Thai society views foreign teachers. Well, what better place to look than Twitter? Twitter has been shown to be the most freely expressed language. So I analyzed 1 year's worth of tweets on Twitter in Thai, just to see how to see what Thai people really think about foreigners. And Ant Conk is my favorite. I love Ant Conk. Ant Conk gives log likelihood. So I love it. Now, the presentation right before me was talking about even beyond the Hey, I'm okay. I don't need any help. I appreciate that. So yeah, I appreciate the help. But the presentation before me was talking about even more than a new normal, and it's so fitting that these two presentations are highly relatable to me and to what I do. So I thought I would talk about how myself and other teachers in the old normal, how we had a fixed mindset, and now we must have a growth mindset in the new normal. Now, I know this topic has been presented millions of times. Okay, I'm joking, but thousands of times. But I want to speak from a personal point of view. Now, you know, this is me, and I put some slightly complicated vocabulary in here that I know Indonesians have problems pronouncing, but that's Sinta, right? Sinta, yes, Sinta.
Yes.
Girl, I tell you what, you would have made an A in my presentation class. You did.
Yeah.
Oh, you did so well. I mean, you did very, very well. So
I read it many times. That's why.
English language specialist, blah, blah, blah. The journal, yeah. So you did very, very well, very, very well. I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
Now, you know, I wanted to use Sinta as an example because Sinta can take this. If I would be one of the teachers who I visit with daily, right? They would have focused on everything Sinta did wrong. Now, if we look at this, there are nearly 100 words in my presentation. Okay, how many mistakes did she actually make? She made 3 major mistakes, but how many things did she get correct? 97. So why should I even say, well, you should have said this or you should have said this? Why? That's horrible. I mean, what kind of teacher focuses on the negative things? It's the mindset. It's the mindset of the teachers and the way they think. If I crush Cinta's dreams, then she will not want to try anymore. If I support her, then she will want to try more. So let's quickly look at a fixed mindset. Why do I say a fixed mindset in the normal? Well, you know what? Before the coronavirus, no one used Zoom. Very few people used virtual learning. And here in Thailand, if you had a degree from a virtual university, the Ministry of Education would not accept that degree. They would say your degree is not as valid as a face-to-face degree. Well, guess what? The coronavirus said, well, hey, I'm going to make the whole world do virtual degrees. So I learned that this fixed mindset is a way of thinking that teaching or the way that we do things is fine the way it is and nothing needs to get better. You know, I actually call those teachers dinosaurs, because what happens to dinosaurs? They died out. Now, let's just quickly look at the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset makes people feel insecure, or, you know, even some teachers, they feel this need to be perfect in their own minds. And they feel stagnant, or like there's no oxygen, there's no life to their teaching. But a growth mindset means even someone at my maturity level, I don't want to say at my age because I'm old, but you know, at my maturity level, I love lifelong learning. My goodness, I wake up in the morning and I just can't wait to read. I mean, I just can't wait to read or to learn something new. I have to. And I want to be more successful in my career. Even though I have been teaching for nearly 20 years, I still want to be more successful. And I need a continual personal evolution inside and outside of the classroom. And you know, the coronavirus throwing the world into, well, either you virtually teach or the students don't have any access to education. That caused a lot of people to come into the growth mindset, even though they didn't want to. Now, let's look at some fixed mindset characteristics. Now, I normally try to do everything with a positive spin first. I normally like to talk about the positive things first, but in this case, I want to talk about the negative things first, because you need to see how this is the way we were and this is the way we are. Now, risk adverse just means that, well, my goodness, I'm sorry. I have visited Indonesia so many times, and I have visited universities, and you know, I swear I've been to Indonesia 60 times, and when I go into a classroom and I see, you know, and I see lecturers smoking in the classroom, and the students have to cover their faces, and they can't tell the lecturer, oh, excuse me, can you please stop smoking in the classroom with me? Then see, those things, when I observe these situations, or when I observe teachers talking for 3 hours, never shutting up, never allowing the students to ask questions, you know, these teachers, they say, well, that's the way I did it. That's the way my lecturers did it. And that's the way I'm going to do it. Well, those teachers have a fixed mindset. They feel threatened. They feel threatened because they think what I'm doing is the best. and they are defensive, and they think, you better not tell me what to do. This is the way I've always done it, and this is the way we did it for the past 40 years, so it works. Well, you know what? Your lecturers who are familiar with modern pedagogies, they know the stuff done in World War II, it doesn't work. Come on. So, and these teachers, they're very hubristic. What is hubristic? Hubris, Hubris. Hubris means they have a God-like attitude. I am the professor. I am the rector. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. And if you tell me anything different, well, you know, they are excessively proud, and they think they are always correct. That is a fixed mindset. And it's so dangerous, you know, these feelings of insecurity, they just create this self-perpetuating cycle. And when the educator, when they try something and they fail, they just stop. Well, the reason why they fail is because of the way they think, and they need to be perfect. Well, guess what? No one's perfect. I speak English. I make mistakes all the time. Trust me, I make mistakes all of the time. And my goodness, when I try to speak Bahasa Indonesian, oh, just forget about it. When I try to pronounce something, the only word I can pronounce, and this is my favorite word in all of Bahasa Indonesian, menjijikan. I love the word menjijikan because it's so funny. Menjijikan. It's cute. I like it. And so, you know, this fixed mindset just doesn't work very, very well. But the growth mindset, we believe our teaching can be developed. We believe we as people can be developed. We are resilient. We are excited, and we are positive in the things that we do. Just like when Cinta, when she presented, I could have said, Cinta, it's tier, not tire. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be an English major. What would that do? What would that do? That would break her heart, and she would never want to speak English again. That's why most of you hate mathematics, because in your life you had mathematics teachers who needed to be shot. So, you know what I mean. But, you know, you have to be positive, you have to be uplifting, and you have to be excited. Why? Because if we have a love of lifelong learning, a growth mindset as educators, we know that it doesn't matter if you are 50 years old. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've been teaching for 20 years. It does not matter. You need to learn the new pedagogies. You need to understand how to adopt and adapt yourself to technology. Look, for the coronavirus, I had never used Zoom. I used Skype maybe 3 times in my whole life. So I know I have just over 2 minutes. Relax. I can see you stressing. You're like, oh. Relax. And you know, career success. I have 60 publications, right? And I still think, well, that's not good enough. I want to do more research. I want my research to get out there. I want to touch the hearts and the minds of the young people, of the novice researchers. And this personal evolution I have, I think in my heart and in my mind, I think, number one, I absolutely do not know everything. Number two, I absolutely know that I am never always right. Yeah. So what this means is that if we have a discussion, I listen to you. I take what you say, because you might have more knowledge in a particular field than me, or a particular subject. So why not listen to you? See, that's personal evolution. That's growing and changing. So let me leave you with this. We have 15 minutes, and I know that wasn't very much time, but I will honor you. The mediocre teacher tells, The good teacher explains. The superior teacher demonstrates. But the great teacher inspires. The great teacher is the teacher that you look forward to going to their class. They are the teacher who gives high fives. They are the teacher who says, listen, you did this so great. Wow, this was amazing. And look, the only thing, if I could find just one small thing that you might want to work on, you might want to work on this, but please don't let that take away from the great work that you are doing. That's the teacher you need. You need the teacher who uplifts you, the teacher who cares about you, the teacher who tells you what you are doing great, far more than what you are doing not so well. So, thank you. My time is up, exactly 15 minutes, and you can scan this QR code if you would like to contact me. This takes you, I think, to my Facebook page. You can send a message to me via Facebook. And I pretty much respond within a few minutes. So if not, that means that I'm teaching. So if I don't respond within 15 or 20 minutes, just relax. It doesn't mean that I don't want to talk to you. So, okay, this is me. I am exiting, and you have the helm. You are the boss. Okay, now, hey, I'm sorry, I have to leave. My wife just got out of dental surgery. She sent a message to me. She says, I'm dying. Can you please come get me?
No.
So, okay, so I'm sorry. I have to go.
I hope everything is okay with your wife, David.
Oh, sure.
Greetings to your wife.
She had her wisdom teeth pulled. Wisdom teeth in the very back, but that's okay. Yeah. She has a magnificent husband to take care of everything.
Okay, I believe that.
So, okay, everyone, bye-bye. I have to go.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
David.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, David, for the enlightening presentation. See you when I see you, David. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was David Deparadin. Thank you very much, David. Now we move on to our fourth keynote speaker. Our fourth keynote speaker is from India, Dr. Prashan S. Mothe. He is an associate professor in the Department of English of Adarsh Senior College, India. He has 14 years teaching, more than 40 years teaching experience. His specialization includes CLT, linguistics, pragmatics, and Indian writing in English. During lockdown, he conducted more than 75 webinars by inviting internationally and nationally acclaimed academicians. He has published his works in several reputable journals and publishers. He also has experiences in being keynote speakers in numerous conferences across the globe. Currently, he is an editorial and advisory board member of various national and international reference journals. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you again that the presentation will be delivered in 15 minutes. If the participants have questions to the keynote speakers that we have today, please feel free to write it on the chat box. We will have special time after the whole presenters present their materials. Now, let me invite Dr. Prashan S. Mothe to deliver his presentation.
Thank you, Shaita ma'am, for your generous introduction. Good afternoon from India. At the outset, I need to congratulate the entire team of COROLLA Education Center Foundation for two basic reasons. First, for organizing second international conference on education now and tomorrow. What do we have to do and expect? Which I think is the need of an hour in the present globalized situation after pandemic era. And second, for inviting internationally acclaimed academicians and speakers like Dr. Mutmaina, David sir, Dr. Garda ma'am, and Dr. Siti ma'am from different parts of the globe. Since organizer have allotted me 15 minutes, I need to fix with my time. Today I'm going to talk about modern digital educational tools for innovative teachers and students. Actually, friends, my talk has been divided into three different parts. First, I will talk about paradigm shifts in teaching and learning tools. And then towards the end of my talk, I will throw light on modern digital education tools that we everyone, teachers as well as students, need to adopt it. So let's begin with first part of my talk, that is paradigm shifts in education tools. Friends, if we see the passing of knowledge from one generation to another has been in the existence from since times of human evolution. No if you visit, actually David has already talked about, he has visited different parts of the globe. So no longer classrooms are limited to the four walls with the teacher using direct instructions. Today, in many institutions and universities in across the globe, instead of old blackboard or a green board, whiteboard and smart boards and project screens are used for teaching and learning process. Instead of the old, if you remember, typewriter, old desktop computers, now we have shifted to laptops, iPads, smartphones are used for taking down notes, taking online lectures, learning assessment, feedback, so on and so forth. Floppy drivers, CDs, and DVDs are replaced by pen drives and cloud storage. We can see even there is a huge change in handwriting of our teachers are replaced by PowerPoint presentations and animations. So face-to-face lectures is now converted and uploaded on YouTube, that we can see how we are changing in today's era. For the global community, if we see for technology advancement, what every speakers in room first, second, and third, what I think all the keynote speaker might have been talking about everything more or less related to the technological enhancement. So on the global scale, people have looked to connect with each other to find out solutions, share ideas, policies, educational practices, assessment across boundaries, and to find out a common solution to a common challenge after pandemic. So we are moving towards that part of things. As what my focus is that technology is at the center, and benefits of technology is that highly effective. If you take what Dr. Mutmaina ma'am has talked, cybology, or David sir has talking about all those innovations, Twitter handle and all those. So it's a highly effective. We can approach by 24/7, flexible scheduling. We can schedule any kind of meeting at any parts. You look at the time difference of India as well as Indonesia is quite, there is a quite difference one, flexible scheduling, and there are a lot of things that we can see here. So what I am here wants to focus is that we have been shifting from traditional teaching methods to modern technological tools, that we are shifting nowadays. So instead of all those methods that we have been using at least in India, that grammar translation method, direct method, bilingual method, structural method, total physical response, to the technologically supported digital tools. So hundreds of digital educational tools have been created with the purpose of giving autonomy, giving freedom to the teachers as well as students, and all those technological oriented digital are innovative one, modern one, engaging and creative digital tools, which helps improving the administration of academic processes. So which are those tools that we need to see? Due to time constraint, I am moving. As rightly said by Benjamin Franklin, that we need to invest our, and investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So we need to invest our uh, things in technological things. So the first digital tools that we everyone is talking about in today's era is nothing but is computer assisted language learning, called. that everyone is all aware about all these things, because the application of computer technology enabled teachers as well as learners to make local and global societies. That's why we are collaborating with Indonesia, Egypt, Philippines, and Thailand, and a majority part of Egypt. Okay, with the people and exchanging opportunities for the learning from each other. So this positive effect of computer technology does not come automatically. It depends on how teachers use it in their classroom for improving their vocabulary is concerned, as rightly said by David sir, that we need to focus about uh, pronunciations, right? Enriching word power, usage of grammar, and so on and so forth. So this is the major digital tool that every teachers we need to focus about. Second important digital tool that is growing at a highest rate because of its flexibility, right? And mobile assisted language learning. Okay, so mobile technique for learning is very much effective because the mobile devices is quite popular gadgets. It's available at any time, anywhere basis, and it has hundreds of we can say Android mobile and we can say Apple mobile have all those applications which helps, and more importantly mobile phones are cheaper than computers. So it's a very handy tools and we can use it for effective enrichment of vocabulary, word power, for language skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. That is what we need to focus about. This is the major motive of our today's webinar. So the things which is more growing across globe is that MOOC, right? So MOOC courses are very much popular in majority parts of India. That is what we can learn from the experts, right? These are free of cost. Majority of the courses are free of cost. So in India, we have in NP free of cost courses, but at global level, we can see at an academy, or you can say and Canvas. So all these are MOOC courses that where we can learn on any topic and we can gain, enrich, enhance our knowledge based on join all those courses. So the next important digital tools that is developed Google, that is we need to we can deliver script lectures how to operate Google Forms, Google Slides, Google Docs, right? Google Meet. Instead of Zoom, we can use AutoDraw in Jamboard, then Peer Deck for Google Slides or Google Drive. So every Google has different kinds of applications which we can help. And during lockdown, during pandemic era, uh, Google has given free access to the institutions. Majority of the institutions are still using we can say Google Meet for presenting their lectures, at least in India or in major part of Asia. So another things that what I want to focus there is about quizzes and assessment tools. These are very handy tools that because online quizzes has been shown to motivate students to complete assigned readings. So all these are very famous. Some of them are free of cost applications like Code, Profex, Quizzes, Hot Potatoes are there near Port, Edmedo. So what is there? It increase participation in class discussion. What we teach, we need to get feedback from the students. So assessment and feedback tools are very handy one. So I prefer Profex in my classroom for quiz before, during, and after our teaching learning. So these are very handy tools. Presentation is a very important parts of everyone. So everyone is trying to present our thoughts, feelings, and our opinions, our material, teaching material. We can see the slide of Dr. Mutmain. So she has presented her slide in a very best way. So as a teacher, we do our best to present our content in such a manner that student can gain knowledge and understand what we're trying to convey to them. So during presentation, we are very intent like presentation, videos, images. We need to use all those things. So all these applications are there. So how to use Canva, we can deliver separate lectures for it. Due to time constraint, I'm not going to in detail about how to use Microsoft PowerPoint and all those uh, presentation tools. But what I'm trying to say here is that these are very effective presentation applications that we need teachers and students in the need to use powerful tools in their teaching and learning process to make learning fun for the students. So next slide here I want to share is that animation presentation applications for teachers. Within next 3 minutes, I'm going to complete my presentation. So I'm quite fixed with my time, so don't worry about it. So multiple studies have proved that animation to be medium effective tools for to enrich better learning techniques for students as well as teachers. So many animation tools are available. So I prefer out of all those things applications, digital tools, PowerPoint is the best one. We can free of cost 2.5 minutes digital tools. I have seen the very powerful animation slide of this conference before the start of the seminar. So it's a very, it looks, and we need to create such slides to make our teaching learning process more effective one. So there are virtual classroom setup tools are there. So nowadays Zoom is very popular one, but besides that Microsoft Team is there and Cisco WebEx and all those majority of the tools are there for our presentations. So here as far as YouTube is concerned, YouTube is the best medium, I think, educational tool for academicians, editors, researchers from all over the world. You can find hundreds of videos on YouTube to make our education more interesting one. So YouTube has become one of the new learning platforms. So majority of the, you can see Khan Academy, then BBC Tech, TED Education have already uploaded lots of hundreds of thousands of videos, and it makes teaching learning process very fun and frolic way. So during lockdown, as during introduction, Shanta ma'am has already talked about we can say that organized 75 webinars during lockdown, and majority parts of world across the globe have benefited during this all those webinars because of these webinars. Even so, we need to, I would like to conclude with the blended kind of teaching learning process. So blended learning means we need to modern technology present access of digital tools for the classroom, and teacher needs to make our teaching learning process face-to-face learning. Besides that, we need online learning kind of digital tools. So new digital tools are introducing day by day. but we need to adopt. First, teachers need to learn all those digital tools, and then we need to expertise all those digital tools and make effective use of all those digital tools in the actual classroom. That's how our teaching learning process become more effective one. So that is what this person, Rajni Disley, who has won Global Teacher Award during 2020, okay, because of his innovations in QR code. So he has won the Global Teacher Award, and this is what I want to conclude my talk here with the quotation of George Couros, that technology will never replace great teachers. Technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of a great teacher can be transformational. So such international webinars are convenient, offer flexibility, bring education right to our home, offer more individual attention, help to meet interesting people, give world-class skills to learn from each other. So once again, I need to congratulate the entire team of this conference and for giving me an opportunity to share my views about modern digital tools. So let's learn from each other. And thank you, organizer, for giving me an opportunity to share my views in front of such a learning audience. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome. Let's give a round of applause to Dr. Prasan Mote. Thank you very much for such an entertaining and enlightening presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, again, if you have questions to our keynote speakers today, please feel free to write it on the chat box there. We have our special time later on to discuss about the question and answer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our fifth speaker, Dr. Ghada Tosan Abdul Latif, PhD. Let me introduce you to her. She is a lecturer and head of English department at Beni Suef Technological University, Egypt. She is also a trainer in CARE International. She completed her PhD in English Literature, Faculty of Arts, Beni Suef University. Excellent with first honor degree in 2017. She has more than 20 years teaching experiences. She had vast experiences as a keynote speaker at numerous international conferences. She received several prestigious awards and achievements. She also involved in several consultancy works for several embassies. So, ladies and gentlemen, although Dr. Ghada Tosan Abdul Latif, PhD, cannot be with us in real time, she has prepared a video to be shared with us. During the video sharing, if you have questions for Dr. Ghada Tosan, kindly send email to corollaeducationcenter@gmail.com and we will forward the message to her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we present you the video presentation from Dr. Ghada Tosan Latif, PhD. So committee, please help me to share the video to the audiences.
Hello, it is nice to meet you all today in this wonderful conference. I am Dr. Ghada Tosan, the head of English department at Beni Suef Technological University, Egypt. I'll speak in my session about education today and tomorrow. Okay, let's state at first that education today is a forward-looking enterprise concerned with ongoing gains and future benefits. If education is to remain beneficial for learners, it must prepare them not for today, but for their tomorrow. Let's see some main features about education today and tomorrow. First, to setting up new global educational goals. Education is the key to prosperity and opens up a world of opportunities, making it possible for each of us to contribute to a progressive, healthy society. Learning benefits every human being and should be available to all. Whether schools across the nation and abroad are toying with the idea of incorporating global perspectives into their schools and classroom, or have been working hard for years to cultivate a school culture of global mindedness. One must think working towards the same goal of ensuring that every child has an understanding of the world and global issues, a mindset that embraces diversity and multiple perspectives, and an ability to take action on issues of global significance. For education administrators, it is particularly important to make global opportunities available to teachers and encourage them to learn about the world. In this way, teachers will know that this is a priority and can build the capacity and the confidence to embed global content and perspectives into everyday practice. For exploring global educational needs, the French novelist Marcel Proust observed that the real voyage of discovery consisted not in seeing new lands, but in seeing with new eyes. Over the last few decades, skill demands in the industrial world have shown amazing changes. The steepest growth in skill demand is no longer in the area of routine cognitive skills, memorizing something and expecting that going to help us later in life. So when we access the world's knowledge on the internet, we see that routine skills are being digitized or outsourced. When jobs are changing rapidly, success becomes increasingly about ways of thinking. That's about creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. Nowadays, our ways of working are fast changing. That include collaboration and teamwork, and about that socio-cultural tools that enable us to interact with the world. Need to develop global learning models. The ongoing teaching learning process can in no way hold ground on traditional instruction models. We have moved very far from teacher-centered strategies, course, turning into the global needs. Learning needs to be personalized, that fundamentally focused on the student, where instruction is tailored to unique styles of learning, and most importantly, encourage students to explore their specific interests and passions. So I have always told the children to find something they are passionate about, learn how to be better at it, that anyone they know, and then find a way to make a living out of it. In doing so, they will never work a day in their lives, and instead of by fulfilling their dreams and aspirations. Today, teaching is exactly about this notion, unlocking the passions of our children to live into the future in which they will create, cultivate, and flourish. Setting a framework for future skills. Technologies such as blockchain and the Internet of Things will have a profound impact in the way we live and work. They will require rapid adaptation in our workplaces. So skills relevant today may be very well become outdated tomorrow. However, they are useful frameworks for thinking about future skills and the future workforce. First and foremost, technological literacy is critical. Individuals will need to work with and harness the potential afforded by smart systems and tools as they become the norm in workplaces. For example, familiarity with new media provides access to huge data sets on consumer behavior and a global market. Multidisciplinary skills and specialization. In our schools, we develop and impact such curricula that cater to the individual, social, national, and global needs for a child in the times to come. There was a time when just an enrollment certificate was enough to address a problem in society. Then, after some years, the requirement was an intermediate +2 degree to address social issues. Then, we required an undergraduate degree and then an undergraduate degree with soft skills. Afterwards, a postgraduate degree, moving further on, a postgraduate degree with a set of skills. Now, what we require is research skills with analytical skills. Analyzing this change in requirements of skills, it may be safely predicted that in future a person will need many skills and a large spectrum of knowledge. Higher level of computational thinking skills. The 21st century is possibly the century of computing. Artificial intelligence has finally come of age as it becomes embedded in the transformation of work, commerce, and everyday life. Big data, speech and facial recognition, robotics, Internet of Things, cloud computing, autonomous vehicles, and 24/7 access to anyone, anywhere in the world via social media is changing how and where people work, collaborate, communicate, shop, eat, travel, get news and entertainment, and quite simply live. We see that boundaries between business functions and domains are becoming more and more spongy, and innovation increasingly arising from multidisciplinary research. So to stay competitive, the workplace needs to comprise individuals who possesses a combination of computational and thinking skills and effectively manage a significant amount of information. With global jobs and labor markets becoming a norm, increasing culture diversity at the workplace is to be expected. Cross-culture, collaborative, and social intelligence skills will be sought after as individuals need to work in teams with diverse makeup, reach out to regional and international markets, and engage with stakeholders in a global market. Finally, the mindset underpinning this skill set is essential. In such a fast-paced game, individuals have to be adaptable, motivated, and alert to ensure that they stay relevant in a complex, competitive workplace. Prioritizing skill-based learning. Okay, much of time in schools is spent learning individually. But the more dependent the world becomes, the greater the premiere on great collaborators. Innovation today is rarely the product of individuals working in isolation but an outcome of how we mobilize, share, and link knowledge. So, the premium in education needs to shift from qualifications focused education upfront to skills-oriented learning throughout life. It also shows that skill development is far more effective if the world of learning and the world of work are linked, compared to purely government-designed curricula taught entirely in schools. Learning in the workplace allows people to develop hard skills on modern equipment and soft skills such as teamwork, communication, and negotiation through real-world experience. Hand-on workplace training is also a great way to motivate disengaged youth to re-engage with education and smoothen that transmission to work. Thank you so much. It was an honor to be with you today. I hope to see you in future events and good conference such like this one.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You just watch the video presentation from Dr. Gadatasan. Thank you very much, Dr. Gadatasan, for sending us the informative presentation. We hope that you enjoyed the presentation. So now we're gonna move on to our next keynote speaker. So I'd like to greet Dr. Prodan Mahbub. Sir, are you there? Dr. Prodan Mahbub?
I'm here. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah, sir. Is it okay if we move on to you? Because our next speaker is supposed to be Dr. Ibrahim Otayer, but unfortunately he is not here yet. Is it okay if we move on to?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our next keynote speaker today. I'd like to introduce Dr. Prodan Mahbub. He is currently He has been working as an assistant professor in the Department of English at American International University, Bangladesh. He has completed his PhD in teaching English as a second language from University Technology Malaysia, UTM, and Master's Awards in ELT and Applied Linguistics, along with graduation from the University of Dhaka in 2020. He received an award, UTM International Doctoral Fellowship, from University Technology Malaysia. His research interest is in the field of ELT using educational technology such as smartphones and Internet of Things. So ladies and gentlemen, let me invite Dr. Prodan Mahbub to give his presentation.
Just spare a few minutes for me to get ready a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting for.
I'm sharing my screen with this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is it visible? Screen is clear?
Yes. Okay. Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon from Bangladesh. And good morning and good evening from to whom it is concerned. Basically, today I would like to highlight the application of Industry 4.0 in ELT. Before starting, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to the organizers of the second COROLLA International Conference Committee, who provided us the theme Education Now and Tomorrow. What do we have to do and expect? So in this regard, I have investigated through literature, existing literature, what is happening about Industry 4.0 in English language teaching. So through my investigations, I have investigated through Scopus, a reputable database, which is recognized all over the world. And through these databases, what I have found today, I would like to present to you as you could understand what is happening in the field of English language with the technology, I mean, Industry 4.0. For doing this, these are my contents, focusing point. Then I have a database, which database I have gone through. Then what are the searching criteria? Then research trends by citation, year, institutes, country, and major themes by keywords that have already investigated in this field and led us some insights for future research. So the focusing point is that investigating the application of Industry 4.0 in the published research works, especially those research are published in Scopus without time limit. I have gone through, and my key issues is that that three previous speakers, they have also introduced technology in our educations, how technology implemented and bringing benefits for both teachers and learners. So it's not a side topic; it is very inside topic. That's why I think we need to understand the role of the Industry 4 or in English language. As you know that these issues have been much more studied in different other scientific areas like so in this regard, I could try to understand what is the application and how this Industry 4 is practicing in ELT for facilitating much more benefit for both teachers and students as well. So for investigating the existing literature through Scopus database, I have some particular issues in my mind with these issues or with these keywords. I have gone through. Basically, I want to see what is happening in the published world. So that's why I did not put any time mentioned. It was opened because I want to see from where Industry 4.0 has been practicing. Where is the starting point? Then I have put some keywords that I have designed for identifying the particular research works in my specific area. So I have put this searching criteria like Industry 4.0 and language teaching or learning. Then I have put next keywords for industrial recognition and language teaching or learning. Then I have put the last phrases like for IR and language teaching or learning. With these keywords, I have found from 2013 to 2022, 54 articles, 54 research works that was published from 2013 to 2020. And the citation was what they are 218. Citation per year was 5.56. The citation per paper 3.89, and high H index is 8. So the statistics, it shows that basically this time span is not much more. I mean, it is very new one. It's only 19 years, but during this 19 years, regarding application of Industry 4.0 in ELT, the published works are very few, not so much mentionable. It is only 54, so it is still unexplored to the teachers and students, how Industry 4.0 will bring much more benefit. So this this statistical table show or lead us that yes, there might have some issues that we could investigate much more for getting much more benefit from industry 4.0 or 4IR or fourth industrial revolution. You know that in the fourth industrial revolution age, there are the technology has turned into much more sharp in different aspects, as well as with the language teaching too. That's why obviously there is a space where we researchers we could investigate to find out much more benefits, much more insights that could intermingle with intermingle in English language teaching. So what are the classification of these publications? I mean, look at this circle. You can see that there are different types of documents are here. Published works are divided into all types of research works forms. Like mostly it is article. Okay, the large number of portions published as article, then conference paper, conference review, then a book chapter, then as a book and a review. Okay, so basically you can see that of these 54 articles, there have been different types of forms of research paper has been already used. So, but most of them are published as article. Okay. So now look at the paradigm going on, how the shifting is going on. The first paper I have found in a Scopus database in 2013. After that, up to 17, it is very static. There is no chance of beat. But after 2017, look at it has been rocketed. It has been jumped over. So after 17, in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, it is rising. It's the graph, the line chart here shows that yes, the trend, research trend in this field is rising and forthcoming. So in this field, researchers could easily understand what they should investigate or what types of things they could take into the classroom to make their method as innovative pedagogy, as much more beneficial for students, especially for language learners. Okay, so Industry 4.0 will be integrated within the classroom, and that could facilitate or that could support the classroom environment and make it more easier, more smoother, and mostly beneficial for learners. Next on a look at, I have just have a look that who are the most contributory universities in this field, and later I also see research trends by the country, which country is producing much more in productive way in this field. So here I will see, I can show you that there are the Asian universities, they are in the leading position. And at the top, you can see that University Kelantan, Malaysia, then universities, Pendidikan, Indonesia. So Malaysia and Indonesia, they are in the field is in the pioneering position. Then University Technology, Mara. So most of the universities are from Asia. In the top 10, University Hradec Kralov, this is a European university from Czech Republic. So we can see here, most of them are from Asian countries. So Asian countries, Asian researchers, educators, teachers, they are much more aware of investigating fourth industrial revolution within their language classrooms. Then country, look at, as I have already found that Asian universities are in the leading, and obviously Asian countries are in the leading. You look at Malaysia, Indonesia, Russian, Vietnam, United States. Okay. But within the top 4 universities, top 5 universities, 3 are from Asian universities. So Asian country. So we Asian are not lagged behind in this field. We have good opportunities and we are the leaders in this field yet. Next, to look at, these are the most important issues. Okay, how this industry 4.0 implemented and what are the impact that we have found from this research, published research book. You can see these maps. Okay, within these maps, there are different colors. Basically, there are the 5 different colors and 5 different clusters of the themes that I have found through the analysis of authors' keywords. The author, those they have used, from this I have found 5 different types of research trends. Look at the yellow color. Okay, here there are the industry revolutions, there are the non-native speakers, then learning, okay, then industry 4.0, both industrial revolutions, teaching and learning. So here it says that there have been some synonymous words with industry 4.0. Those are industry 4.0 for the industrial revolutions, industrial revolution 4.0. Okay, then this is one cluster. Another cluster, look at that with green color, education 4.0, language learning, then students, e-learning, English language teaching, education. So all these here in these clusters, there is education 4.0. This one is also synonym to industry 4.0, which has been implemented in the language for the language learning, English language teaching, used for the e-learning and developing students' perceptions, and also helped teaching from the teachers' perspectives. And another types of that where there is indigo color, learning systems, engineering educations, and motivations. So in this here, it indicates that yes, industry 4.0 is a kind of learning system which can motivate both learner and students. So this mind map, this map is the production from the author's keywords that they have used for identifying the key themes of their research works, and where we can find that yes, there are several issues that could be found and that could be also investigated in the future. So this idea will be much more clearer with this mind map. Okay, this mind map is the most frequent words used in those published works. In this case, I can just remind you that this analysis I have done with Vosvier's softwares, okay, where I have gone through with the keywords in titles and abstracts. Okay. So keywords, those are found in titles and abstracts in those published works. These are the result from this. And we can also see here there are different colors. Those colors indicated the different clusters, different classification of the research trends that have already published in this area. So first look at here also yellow color. Yellow color is like practice, English language, author, implementations, technology, industrial revolution, teaching, teachers. So this is larger. This mind map contains larger ideas than the previous one. Previous one is only author's keyword. Those they have used, but this one is not author's keywords. This one is the analysis of titles and abstracts. What the most frequent words or keywords they have used in those titles and abstracts. And here I have found that 6 different types of research trends or themes we have found. So these different colors indicating different issues. So here look at the mobile app. Okay, mobile app is the most, I think, most byproduct of Industry 4.0. And many researchers all over the world, they are using this one in their classrooms. How this one is functionizing. Okay, how this one brought the benefit for both teachers and students. So there are different issues. So next cluster like indigo color, which is with the connected mobile device, and there you can find the model, you can find the purpose, the form, language learning, okay, language learning quality. Then so this mobile device, how can what is its purpose? So the purpose is also investigated. Then model how this can be used in especially English language as teaching and bring benefits for both teacher and students. Then it also indicate that how mobile device is working for language learning. If we look at the green color, we can see that there are several terms or themes like university, method, result, student, study, language, English, finding, level, right, factor, paper, or industry. So there are so many issues, so many themes are have already addressed in those published talks from Scopus database. So from this researcher, that the title of the theme of this today's conference, that what would be the future and what we expect. Okay, so in this regard, these types of discussions that could create some insights for both researchers, educators, teachers, and policymakers, how they could use this this concept for the industrial revolution or industry 4.0 in especially in language, English language teaching in their context or all over the world. Okay, yeah, that's all from my part. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pradhan Mahbub, for such an enlightening presentation. Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause to Dr. Pradhan Mahbub. He just presented to you the trend, research trend in 4.0 industrial revolution in language, especially in language education teaching. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to, actually we have on the list of the schedule, we have, we're supposed to have Dr. Ibrahim Oteyer from Saudi Arabia, but unfortunately, he cannot join us because of the connection, a bad connection. Tried to contact the committee, but the committee said that yeah, he cannot make it today. We're really sorry for it. Sorry, sir, Maggie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the final section of this conference. All the keynote speakers have already presented a very informative and sorry, committee, could you please mute? Okay, thank you very much because it's kind of noisy. Yeah, I'm not sure the participants can hear my voice. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the conference today. All the keynote speakers have already presented us a very informative and enlightening presentation about the the context in English education. Yeah, now and future, what do we expect? Okay, so before we come to the question and answer section, we have already collect the several questions from the audiences here. I like to give a little bit, a summary from overall presentation from the 6 speakers today. We are facing shifting of paradigm in education, especially in English education. As the world moves forward to the technological era, as a teacher, we need to be ready to deal with the global issues. However, we need to be wise with the choice that we have. Our aim is still to make our students learning effectively. In facing this, we also need to have growth mindset, as it includes a lifelong learning, so we can adapt well in the shifting era. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to open question and answer session, as I promised you previously. So, sir and madam, we have I have already keep 2 questions. The first question is refers to Ma'am Siti, Siti Asmia. So the question is from Putri Rizky. The question is, how do we apply or implement corpora in our teaching and learning process? And as a teacher, how do we introduce corpora learning in our classroom? Thank you, Putri, for the questions. I think I request Dr. Siti Asmia for directly answer the questions, Ibu.
Thank you very much, Putri Rizky Ramadhani, for the question. So 2 things. First one is how do we apply, and then second one is how do we introduce. Of course, I will address the second one. How do we introduce? I will share what I did with my English for Islamic Studies class. So as English for Islamic Studies is pretty much about how English is used for a particular context in the study of Islam, then first thing first that I ask students is about what vocabulary that you know are related to the context of Islam, and how people use those vocabulary in academic publications or academic books, or in videos which have the content about Islam. And from that, then the student try to look at for resources and to pick up words from they know, which are not of general English words, but words which are specifically about Islam. From their manual or traditional way of looking at keywords from these resources, then I introduce them. Actually, we have this very handy and easy way of looking at keywords from these various resources. Even if we have 10 articles to read, for example, and we to find the keywords, we have this easy way using several applications. So that's how I introduce the use of corpora and corpora application in my class. And then during the teaching and learning, how do we apply these corpora? Actually, the use of corpora can be used throughout of the teaching and learning, in which, starting from learning vocabulary, of course, we can take the corpora, and then if we go further, extending that vocabulary through the concordance, or how these vocabulary is used, what words come next to that word, what words come before that word, and then what are the sentence structure used all together with the words. We can always generate that from the corpora. So corpora basically is the sample of authentic use of language, and this can be the model for the students. And then in the exercise, for example, we can give several expressions, and for the student to double check if that is the way how professional use the expression in their area. So this corpora can be the source of cross-checking of the students' work as well. And corpus or corpora can also be used as a form of assessment. So student can self-assess their own writing, by double checking, and we can also use corpora to double check students' writing as well. So, for example, students are writing essays, and then I put those essays into the system, and I can double check by looking at the concordances and all other features in the application whether the student already used the appropriate environment of the words and appropriate sentence structure. So basically, for all of the steps and stages in teaching and learning, we can always use corpora. Thank you, Ibu Santi. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siti Asmia, for the answer. Putri, I hope you get the answer. That was such a very enlightening source of information. Yeah, I myself is something not really new. It's something new for me, Bu Siti Asmia, about a corpora, I guess. And so I'm very inspired. I really want to try using that in my teaching classroom later on.
Yeah, the reflection of my student, they say that it's helpful for them. Yeah, so that's the reflection of my student, and I find it helpful as well.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we still have one more question, and the question is addressed to okay, the question is addressed to all of the speakers actually. This question is from Denny from IAIN CURUP. He asks, we know that we are in the era full of technology. We can learn just by clicking on our handphone. So will an abstract book or one that we read often be deserted because we all just open our cell phones without having to buy books? Then what is the impact? Oh, that was such a great question. For this question, I'd like to invite Dr. Prodan Mahbub. Dr. Prodan, are you still there? Hello, Dr. Prodan.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, thank you. The question is from Denny from IAIN CURUP. He said that we know that we are in an era full of technology. We can learn just by clicking on our handphone. So will an abstract book or one that we read often be deserted because we'll just open our cell phones without having to buy books? What is the impact? That is the question. What do you think, Dr. Prodan?
Yeah, I'm thinking far behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my students that after 5 days or after 5 years or 10 years, there will be no pen and paper. Then what will be happened? And in the very beginning of my PhD journey, I told my supervisor that yes, there will be no wall for educations, that nowadays we are meaning. We are meaning means we might have physical shapes, university building from there, online, offline, this one. But I told her that definitely one day we don't need any walls, any buildings for educating people. But she was surprised. But after, when the COVID is evidential to us, one day I forgot the message, what I have told to her. She just reminded me, oh, Pradhan, you told me that now we are under these situations. That yes, we don't need any walls, any bricks, any shapes, physical shapes. Similarly, still now I am telling my students that after 5 years or 10 years, we don't need pen and papers. If there is papers, we need shelves, bookshelves or table. We need to compile our books on the shelves, bookshelves. Okay. But nowadays, what is happening? You have your own database. Okay. You have your own storage. You can use this storage, I mean your own library from anywhere with any device, whether it is your laptop, your mobile phone, or whatever it is. You can just log in with your particular password and username, and you can get access. So the question is, what might have impact on the situations, on these situations? I think there will be nothing, because we human beings are always accepting new challenges, new paradigms, and new shifts. That's why we have such kinds of being, which is always gone through revolutionary process.
Yeah.
So just wait and see how the generation will accept this. Do you get my point?
Yeah. What about the question, Mr. Danny? I hope you get the point. Yeah. So yeah, we cannot be shocked. Yeah. Cannot be
Yeah,
denied that will be happen.
Yeah, it's reality. It could
It's
be.
reality. Yeah. I
You
agree with
cannot
that.
deny this.
Thank you very much for the answer, Dr. Prodan.
We are most welcome.
Okay. Okay, now, oh, we have one more question from Maggie. Yeah, Maggie Ari Pratama from EIN CURUP. Thank you for the question, Maggie. So, Maggie is asking about Merdeka curriculum. I think it would be appropriate to be answered by Ibu Siti Asmia. Ibu Siti, this is a trend in our country about Merdeka curriculum.
Yes, let me try to sort out the question. That the biggest problem in our education, including English, is the system and the method. There are some system and method that we change all the time in this country, and in Merdeka curriculum. In the eyes, why we never utilize one of the maximum. Okay.
Changing.
Yeah, all right. Why do we change? Well, probably I'm not the authority to answer this, why the minister kept changing the curriculum, but I will see it from the education perspective, that education actually is very dynamic. Yeah, because we need to keep up with the development. So with such a dynamic, of course, we need also to be dynamic as well. And the changing of the curriculum, I believe, is one of the ways in which we try to look at the current context of the global development. And as people nowadays are getting more and more globally connected, as information is freely accessible, and very much information we can access, then the idea of this curriculum Merdeka is actually looking at how the freedom that we have now can be accommodated. And then why don't we apply this maximally? I believe education is not the sole responsibility of the Ministry of Education. It's not the sole responsibility of the educators or the teachers, but it's the responsibility of all of the stakeholders. So parents, students, educators, government need to work hand in hand. So how to implement it maximally? Of course, we need to look at our position and how we can play the best role in our position. If I am a student, for example, then how can I play my role as student as best as I can? If I am a teacher, then how can I play my role as teacher as best as I can? So the idea of keeping up with the technology, having the growth mindset, and then staying connected with all the professionals having the continuous professional development. Those are the things that we as educators can do. Yeah, from my experience perspective. If we are parents, then what we can do with this education? How can I help schools with my children education? What I can do at home? So it's not the sole responsibility again of the school and of the government. So to have it in a maximum and optimum application, of course, we need to go hand in hand all together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Siti Asmia, for the answer. I hope that the answer can answer the question from Maggie. Maggie, thank you for the questions. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, again, the speakers talks about the paradigm and then shifting in education. Yeah, again, we have to be ready to face that global era. Yeah, and we have to prepare ourselves so that we can adapt to that situation. Thank you very much for such inspiring presentation. The honorable speakers today, Dr. Asmia, thank you for being with us until the end of our conference today.
Thank you, Ibu Sinta, for leading the discussion.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Prodan Mahbub, for being with us today, and all of the participants for the.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for all the participants of our second COROLLA International Conference in collaboration with Indonesia Education Share to Care Volunteers, English Study Program, Guidance and Counseling Islamic Education Study Program of IAIN CURUP. I hope all of you enjoy the conference, and I should remind you that tomorrow there will be a schedule for a presentation from Indonesia presenters. Be ready for that. Then you may join the presentation as well. Well, we come to the end of our schedule today. I'd like to say thank you again. Once again, thank you very much. Yeah, I cannot. That's the very best appreciation for all of the speakers today and all the participants today. Thank you, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Siti. See you when I see you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Sinta.
So can we just leave the room?
Yes,
leave the meeting?
I think we need to leave. I leave the room, leave the meeting.
Okay.
It's okay because we don't have any closing
Oh, okay. That's okay.
ceremony.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. See you
Yeah,
next
you're welcome.
time.
See you, Bu Siti Asmia. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much for being with us. See you when I see you.
Ma'am Sinta. Thank you.